In this tutorial, we will practice using Kepler's third law, in this case to solve for the period. For the first example, we will use exact values. In this case, we are interested in understanding the orbital period of Jupiter. So Jupiter has a semi-major axis of A for Jupiter equals 5.2 astronomical units. Remember, the semi-major axis tells us the typical distance of Jupiter from the Sun, and that value is expressed in astronomical units, where 1 astronomical unit is the distance from the Sun to the Earth. And the units are important for Kepler's law. So Kepler's third law is that the period squared, expressed in years, is equivalent to the semi-major axis cubed when expressed in astronomical units. So we have the units we need for Kepler's law, and we can go ahead and substitute the 5.2 AU in for the semi-major axis and cube it, and you can check with your calculator that this value is approximately 141. And remember, that's the square of the period, not the period itself. So to solve for the period of Jupiter in years, we go ahead and take the square root of 141. And that can also be written, this might be more similar to what is on your calculator, 141 to the 1/2 power. And that equals 11.9 years. So while it only takes the Earth 1 year to travel around the Sun in 1 revolution, it takes Jupiter 11.9 years to make 1 circuit around the Sun. Alright, so that was an example with exact values, and next we'll do an example in which we have a ratio. So for our next example, so for example 2, we'll have a planet B that has a semi-major axis, A, of planet B, that is 3 times the semi-major axis of planet A. And we're interested in understanding what then is the ratio of orbital periods. We don't need to solve for the exact values, but we'd like to understand how many times longer it takes planet B to make 1 revolution of its host star compared to planet A. Alright, so for this case, we use Kepler's law again, but instead of using exact values, we'll solve for a ratio. So the period squared of planet B divided by the period squared for planet A, that ratio is equal to the ratio of the semi-major axis of planet B cubed to the semi-major axis of planet A cubed. So it might be easier to see that ratio as a single fraction, so we take the ratio of A sub B over A sub A, and we'll cube that whole ratio. And this is where we can now go ahead and substitute in the expression that we have that relates the 2 semi-major axes. We'll substitute that in for the planet B. And so we can re-express this ratio as 3 times the semi-major axis of A, which is equivalent to the semi-major axis of B, divided by the semi-major axis of A cubed. And so now you see why we don't need the exact values, that the ratio was sufficient, because we can go ahead and these A sub A will both just cancel off, and that will leave us with 3 cubed. Okay? And so 3 cubed is 27. And so now we know that the ratio of the periods squared equals 27. And so the ratio of the periods alone, the period of planet B over the period of planet A, equals the square root of 27, and that is 5.2. So Kepler's law tells us that the period of planet B is 5.2 times the period of planet A, based on what we knew initially about the ratios of the semi-major axes.